It's Sunday, the 26th of June 2022. Today's top news headlines. Russian missiles hit Kyiv as G7 leaders meet in Germany. 22 people found dead in South Africa nightclub. Iraqi PM Mustafa al-Kadhimi in Iran after MBS visit. Ecuador lifts emergency. Begins talks with indigenous protesters. Indian activist who pursued riots cases against Modi arrested. Sri Lanka to send ministers to Russia seeking discounted oil. Tesla's Texas, Berlin factories, losing billions of dollars. Iran claims it launches second homemade, Rozana, satellite carrier. Iraq PM arrives in Tehran. Iraq PM accorded official reception by President Raisi. 5.4 Richter quake jolts southeast Iran. President Raisi tells Imam Khomeini's profound thoughts practical philosophy of Islam. Iran gains attention in BRICS summit. Major Iranian automaker unveils its first crossover car. Tehran supports any national figure for Iraqi premiership, envoy says. Syrian minister thanks Iran's leader, people, government. Iranian artists weave FIFA World Cup 2022 carpet. Religions enjoy total freedom in Iran, Archbishop says. Sucker punch, some women fear setback to hard-won rights. We have to stay together, Biden says on alliance behind Ukraine. Russia strikes Kyiv as troops consolidate gains in the east. Did corporate greed fuel inflation? It's not biggest culprit, in analysis. Russia to supply neighbor with Iskander-M missile systems. Global recession risk warning issued. Western network of commandos and spies helps Ukraine, NYT says. US Democrats cling to abortion rights as a chance to claw back votes. Number of foreign businesses planning to leave Russia revealed. Japanese UFO researchers report hundreds of encounters. Energy majors call on the French to save energy. Lithuania clarifies stance on Russian exclave transit. G7 summit kicks off in Germany. Putin disagrees with ally on NATO nuclear threat. US lawmakers attempt to declare Ukraine conflict a genocide, media says. Strategic Donbas city, freed, Russia claims. Poland seeks NATO brigade group on its territory. Ukraine joining NATO has never been on the table, Spain says. Countries set to ban Russian gold revealed. NHL superstar Ovechkin impresses in Dynamo Moscow football match. Finnair is nearly broke after ban from Russian skies. EU has solution for blockade of Russia's Kaliningrad, MEP says. MPs want abortion rights inscribed into constitution. BJP wins Samajwadi party strongholds, AAP loses in Punjab. Maharashtra crisis highlights, not leaving Sena, says rebel MLA, announces new faction. PM Modi in Munich live. G7 to announce ban on Russian gold imports. Killed in front of me, arrested bureaucrat on son's death during raid. Video shows Ukrainian man casually shaving beard while a missile is lodged in his home. Ahead of lawyer Agar, Polytechnic University closed. Left sanctions, release assets, Kabul urges world. UN provides $10 million in aid for quake-hit Afghans. India sends Afghanistan more wheat via Pakistan. Deep wells causing groundwater shortage in Herat. AIB gives 10 million Afghanis in emergency aid for the victims of the recent earthquake. WHO scales up health response after deadly quake. OIC cooperation sought in higher education sector. Over 4 tons of expired food torched in Takhar. China pledges $7.5 million in emergency aid to Afghans. Russia hits Ukrainian military facilities with precision strikes. Top EU official accuses Russia of playing dangerous Hunger Games. Iraqi PM in Iran to push for revival of Tehran-Riyadh talks. UK's anti-terrorism strategy has negative effect on Muslim communities. Military leader signs election law to design Mali's political arena. Over 800 children separated from families in eastern DRC clashes. I was responsible for Imran Khan's ouster, not foreign conspiracy, Faisal says. Russian missiles shake Kyiv as world leaders gather in Europe. Saudi Crown Prince confers order of King Abdulaziz on COAS Gen Bajwa. Pakistan completely rejects Indian bid to hold G20 meeting in occupied Kashmir. Russia steps up missile strikes on Ukraine as G7 leaders gather. Biden says G7 must stick together as gold sanctions target Putin's war machine. Banking body urges decisive wave of global rate hikes to stem inflation. At least 22 young people die in South African tavern. French energy companies urge consumers to cut their use.